Fall season begins next week, and if you're looking for a new book to cozy up with, there's a new release that's turning some heads. In her debut novel, Emily Habeck invites us into a world where genetic mutations have the ability to turn us into other animals, with a main character in it turning into a great white shark. So here to talk about her debut novel this morning, the author herself, Emily Habeck, joining us this morning. Good morning, Emily.
Good morning.
Thanks for being with us.
Thanks
we appreciate you
me.
coming down from LA, right, where you just had one of those book signings, right?
Yeah, at Book Soup.
Exciting. Want to start off with, of course, the premise of this book, because like I said, initially when you think about a main character of a book turning into a great white shark, it sounds a little far-fetched.
Right.
But you had said that you didn't think this was the craziest idea for people to buy into when you were writing it, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think I was really invested in the emotional realities of facing a terminal illness rather than the outlandish sounding premise.
Right.
And I also think there are so many just heartbreaking absurdities that we totally accept as people on this planet. Mysteries in our bodies, in the universe, about the natural world, and even just our own identities and discovery of self. And so I think with that, I was thinking, what's so weird about a man becoming a shark?
Yeah. And that was like one of the things when I was telling people about while I was reading this, like that it's so emotional. So many of the reviews are people saying that they were crying while reading this. And at first you think that sounds a little absurd, but it's not really about the genetic mutation. You call this a love story. Mm-hmm. And like I said, it's not really a romance book, but what do you mean when you call it a love story?
I think of it as a story about love and all its permutations. There's the love between a partner, husband and wife. There's love between friends, mother-daughter, and just all the different ways that love shows up in our life and changes us. And so I think more than a traditional romance, it's just an exploration of love as a concept.
Lewis, main character who does turn into the great white shark, he's a theater teacher. You were, I believe, in theater growing up, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did that play a role in his character?
Oh, for sure. Theater is a big part of my life, and I think it's really influenced my storytelling, and yeah, I have to plug the theater when I can. And I think Lewis's love for the theater and the way a theater actor transforms in a role is kind of parallel with his transformation into a great white shark. So in a way, it's like his role of a lifetime.
I also love how, I mean, halfway through the book, you segue into a little bit of a different storyline, and I won't give away too much of that, but I think that it's just so beautiful to then incorporate one of the main characters' relationships with her mother. You talk in your acknowledgments about your relationship with your mom specifically, and how that played a role in your writing, and she kind of helped you out in it, right?
Absolutely, yeah. For years, my mom was the only person who'd read a draft of the book.
That's so funny.
And she is one of the most prolific readers I know. And a lot of the book takes place in 1980s Oklahoma. And I was, you know, born at the very end of that. And so I needed her help on some of the historical details. So we did a lot of drafts where she went through and helped me like make things feel of the time. And the cover is actually completely Oklahoma native wildflowers. And so when we were designing the cover, I asked my mom to go take pictures of flowers in the yard to incorporate into the cover. So it was good for our relationship. It was very collaborative.
I found out about this book through the Book of the Month Club, who selected you as one of their 5 books of the month. New York Times review, wild in every sense of the word, they say. Washington Post, highly original, heart-rending. I mean, this book kind of exploded in popularity. Were you expecting it? How do you feel now?
Oh my gosh, it's been so exciting, and Book of the Month readers and Book of the Month experience has just been incredible. They've showed up to my signings with great questions. It's just an amazing community, and just all of this is beyond my wildest dreams.
We only have a few more seconds left. Tell people where they can find the book and where they can find more about you.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, emily.habeck. And you can buy the book anywhere books are sold. Your local indie or any of the big retailers.
Love it. Thank you, Emily, for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
We have a quick break in store. We'll be right back after this.